I want to welcome you all back to Tribune, which is a series of interviews that I do with people that I meet through online trolling and other various online commenting activities. And tonight we're really talking about the consequences of that type of activity. It used to be that the internet was where we could go to express ourselves, kind of become somebody that we're not. If you watch that show Catfish, you can still do that. But increasingly, there are voices that are calling for the restriction of those rights. If you haven't noticed, there's a huge throttling of free speech on YouTube. There's a major issue right now with what is freedom of speech due to the Charlottesville rallies and all that. And I think that we're genuinely seeing the stretching of the boundaries of these rights in this day and age, because this desire to label things that you don't agree with as hate speech or as bigotry or as threats or whatever you want to call it. I understand the views of many people that feel offended by things that they see from their day-to-day life. But you should understand that a lot of the people that are now being accosted due to things that they say or do online, and this is not a new thing, but it's becoming just more common. A lot of those people do genuinely have what to fear from in terms of their place of employment, in terms of their family, in terms of possibly even a spouse or kids. When you do doxing, this is some issue that I really found very repugnant during the CNN blackmail saga last month. And I can't believe it's only been a month, because it feels like it's been 5 years since then. We are now seeing a world where the powers that be, the media and the government and various special interest groups, they are going to the private person and saying, look, yeah, I know it says that, but we really hold the powers here. This Constitution is just words on paper, and now it's going to be totally digitalized. So we can just manipulate it however we want. And there's nothing you can do about it. And your life is in our hands. And that's basically the world that I see developing. And the guest tonight is one person among a number of other ones that I have met or that I've heard from that say that their freedom of expression is being curtailed, and that they do not know whether something they say will end up getting them fired or ending relationships that they have with friends and family and other people in their circle. And I feel that it's time that, we have to establish exactly why it is that suddenly we have to police people's thoughts and speech. Why is it that now we have a civil war in terms of people's rhetoric and their beliefs about one another? What's the sudden need for it? Because, in my opinion, I don't see the reason why we have to go and attack people just based on their belief system. I mean, you can attack people for numerous reasons, but to openly threaten to have them fired from their job, or to have their children taken away from them, or other consequences, I think that's a consequence of something that is rotting our society from within. I'd like to share with you a clip going back perhaps 13, 14 years from a different America, an America that I think all of us enjoyed.
The sight of your cities pain the eyes of the red man. A man in your cities is numb to the stench.
Go back to Mussolini was Hitler's bitch! Go back!
In the words of Chief Seattle, for the last red man shall have perished, in the memory of my tribe shall have become a myth among the white men.
Hey, you top to get out of here. You son of a bitch from a bat.
These shores, these woods, the highway will swarm with the invisible dead of our people. The white man will never be alone.
This is Newark, baby. We don't play that shit. Not better not be Columbus. Take it down.
He's going to burn the way our ancestors did.
Go sit down, cupcake.
We're not taking anything then.
I'm gonna fucking hand you up there. Hey, we will make arrests. What the fuck is this, Joey? They get a permit, Sil. Everybody, come on, let's go. Everybody. I'll remember this, Joey. Get away from me. Hey. Come on, you two. Come on. All right, we gotta go. We gotta go. Shit.
All right, if you were confused by that, I was playing the audio of the Sopranos episode from Columbus Day over a picture of the Columbus statue in Newark, or I think it's in Newark, maybe it's just for the episode. And the whole premise of it, which I thought was hilarious, was that these American Indians went to Newark and they said, "You will take down this Columbus statue. He butchered our people. He led to the genocide of our ancestors." And these Italians showed up, and a lot of Americans don't, especially if you don't live in urban areas. I happen to live in an area where there's a large Italian population, which I'm not. But they have a massive Columbus Day parade. They have the Feast of the Assumption. They have Columbus Day parade, and they'll come out and they'll have all this pageantry, and the church will do and I haven't really been there, but because I'm not Catholic, but they'll do a lot of these casino games and whatever, and Italians have a great identification with Columbus because even though he discovered America in the name of Spain, he was from Genoa, which is in Italy, and they take great pride in his heritage, in his role as being the so-called discoverer of America, even though in reality it was a different Italian man, Amerigo Vespucci, that gave America its name. America comes from Amerigo. But the point I'm making is that this whole episode was about how Native Americans identified this Italian man as their great oppressor, the one who brought ruin on their civilizations. And okay, maybe they have a point. However, the idea behind it is that, and there's a different clip, and I'm not going to show because I'm not going to show the actual video. I'm only going to show audio because I don't want to get flagged. So the other clip would take even longer, where Tony starts complaining that people don't act like Gary Cooper, and that people don't have, they don't have the strong silent type. And in the show, the other character is Silvio Dante, who's his underboss. He's the one who goes out to the rally and confronts the American Indians and almost gets into a riot with them and whatever. That's the analogy today. You have people that they're both claiming that they're oppressed in one way. In fact, in the other clip, Tony Soprano actually states that, Silvio states that Italians got fucked much worse than other people. And that's the way that a lot of people, they'll say that their group, whatever it is, Japanese Americans, Chinese, black people, Irish. I know somebody who says the Irish had it worse than any other group in America. And they'll state their case, and that's the oppression Olympics. And therefore, you have across the country people whose figures on statues symbolize the oppression of one group or another. Now, what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to take down all the statues? I had a real testy conversation yesterday with somebody who thinks that we shouldn't even put people on statues, and or put statues of people up. And that's an issue that we are now going to deal with because of this nonsense that's going on. These cities that are engaging in this, first of all, Baltimore, which has removed Confederate statues as of last night. Fine, if you want to make a decision like that, a unilateral decision, okay, that's your decision. You've made it democratically. However, you will soon see that you have solved nothing, because all of these issues that your city is dealing with, the massive wave of gangland murders, and the lack of law and order, and the breakdown of the social fabric of the black community, those have nothing to do with the statue. And they have little that symbolic grandstanding can solve. That's not going to solve anything. Because now that these statues are gone, who are you going to blame? Who's going to stand in place of that statue for you to blame now? So the guest tonight, we are going to withhold her identity. She is somebody that I met through, and I haven't met her in person yet, but we've talked a number of times, mostly through chats, and she is one of these people that is experiencing this new level of scrutiny where you don't know what you can say safely or not. And personally, I think that her stories and her the process that she's undergoing right now in terms of the people around her and her job and the reactions that she's getting or the reactions that she does not want to get because she can't speak freely, I think they illustrate the experience of many people in our society today. So stay tuned. In a few hours I will speak to her and I will share the video with you. This is not going to be a public chat. And for reasons that should already be obvious, I cannot reveal a lot of details about this person's who they are, and you'll probably get a good sense of why that is. So see you then, and thanks for tuning in. And stay bold if you can, because at a certain point, how many of us will there be left?